jump.
After 23 game days here in our second All-Filipino Conference, we are finally down to the last match of our preliminaries. Now, for our two teams today, it is all about pride, seeing a Signal won against their floor in our first match. It's been a long and action-packed conference, and while the semifinals are right around the corner, before we approach the finish line, we have one more game to end the elimination round. To close out our Tuesday triple hitter here at the Phil Sports Arena, we have the PLDT High Speed Hitters taking on the Petro Gazz Angels. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be. You can catch us on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and of course, the Pilipinas Live app. Hello, everybody, and good evening. I'm Billy Capistrano, and joining me today is our very hardworking courtside reporter, Sam Corrales, double duty today. And of course, our equally as hardworking, bagong firm na analyst natin, na si Neil Flores. Great to be working with the both of you today. Neil, I will start with you. Last game for both our teams. As I've mentioned, it is all about pride today.
We're feeling a bit sad because after this game, we have to bid farewell to 8 of our competing teams here in the PVL. But for Petro Gazz and PLDT, they have one more chance or one last chance of garnering another win to end their campaign here in our conference.
That's right. Let's take a look at our tournament standings. Sabi mo nga, complete na yung cast natin for our semi-finals.
Streamline swept the entire preliminaries with a perfect 11-0 record, followed by Choco Mucho. We did our computations with a win of Signal earlier and the loss of Cheritigo to the Flying Titans in Iloilo. That put them in the number 3 spot, and then now Cheritigo is in the number 4th spot. So the semi-finals cast is already complete. It's Creamline, Cheritigo, Choco Mucho, and Signal.
And what an exciting semifinals it is going to be. Sabi nga ni Neil, the stage is set for our semis, which starts this Thursday. All right, let's take a quick look at both our teams right now. Let's talk about them even further. Focusing on our game at hand, let's start things off with the PLDT High Speed Hitters. And they won their previous game against the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers. And of course, holding down the fort defensively, as she always does for this team, is none other than Kath Arado. And Neil, she made things very, very difficult for F2.
She has always been the brightest spot for the PLDT High Speed Hitters, always anchoring the floor defense, always making sure that the setters have an easier job in distributing the balls for their attackers. And entering the last day of the preliminary, she's actually the leading digger in the conference with 5.5 digs per set. And today, you can expect another double-digit performance for sure from Kath Arado.
We are expecting nothing less from Kath Arado. You know, what a luxury it is for PLDT or any team for that matter to have her in their roster. I mean, she is a 3-time best libero here in the PVL, the reigning best libero in our All-Filipino Conference, and just, you know, has proven to be such a vital cog in the system of Coach Brald Ricafort. Now over to the other side of the court, let's shift our attention this time to the Petro Gazz Angels, also coming from a great win against the Akari Chargers. And in that game, there were 3 Angels in double digits. And someone surprised everybody with her breakout performance. It was Marian Buitre.
There was a pleasant surprise from Marian Buitre. We know that she is originally a middle blocker, but with the Petro Gazz Angels, she can actually be an opposite hitter as well. And I've heard that in today's game, she would be occupying the right pin. And we will be seeing some of the players from the Petro Gazz Angels today in that game against Akari. She did explode for 22 points. And talagang very excited sila to end their campaign on a high note.
That's right. What a game for Marian Buitre. And you know what, Neil? Prior to that match, she was averaging close to 3 points per game. Her highest scoring output was at 10 points. So again, if you're a Petro Gazz fan, if you are a Marian fan, then you're hoping, praying, crossing your fingers and your toes that she replicates that same performance in their last match today. All right, let's focus now to one of my favorite parts of our pregame. It is our premier matchup, and it's between two of the most dominant outside hitters we have in the league today. For the PLDT High Speed Hitters, we have Savvy Davison. Take a look at her conference stats. 173 points, the 5th best scorer in the league. And on the other side, for the Petro Gazz Angels, we have Jonah Sabete with 120 points. Neil, are you ready for a show?
Of course, they will be giving us an explosive showdown. Savvy Davison and Jonah Sabete are two of the strongest hitters, outside hitters rather, of their respective teams. And today, they will be in the forefront of the offense for both PLDT and Petro Gazz. Let's see kung sinong mas maraming puntos ang makukuha for their squad.
So indeed, we will see kung ano ang mangyayari sa ating players today. I mean, these two girls, knowing that they have nothing to lose, diba? Syempre, they're gonna go all out and we have front row seats to all the action. So we better buckle up for a show. All right, let's bring in Sam again into our conversation. Sam, how are the ladies coming into today's game?
Well, you know what, Billy, despite being a non-bearing game, these teams want to go all out and end things on a high note. Like you said earlier, they want to bring pride to their squads, right? So let's start off with the high-speed hitters. Unfortunately, it's the last time we're going to be seeing Savvy Davison with her squad here in the All-Filipino Conference. Now, I got to ask her about the highlights about playing here in the Philippines, and she told me that she absolutely loves how we put the spotlight in women in sports. Now, this is really a step ahead compared to other leagues that she's played in the States, and she told me that she loves playing here, especially in that game against against Creamline and CDO. It just reminded her of the love for the sport, and it reminded her that her Lola used to play with this electrifying Filipino crowd back during her time in FEU. Now, moving on to the other side, let's talk about the Petro Gazz Angels. Neil, you mentioned some players won't be seeing action today, and that is Gretchel Soltones and Isa Maizo Pontillas. Now, I got to speak to Gretch. I asked her, kamusta siya after everything this conference, and she told me that there's nothing to be worried about. She is absolutely healthy, and she's expecting all of her teammates to step up today, especially this one right here, Marian Buitre. Like you mentioned, she's been on a hot streak, so later on in my reports, I'll be sharing her secret to success. But in the meantime, let's move over to our last feature in the prelims as we hear from Nika Reyes and Ram Palma in this feature called Heart to Heart.
Ayusin mo ah.
Wala naman akong choice.
Mas competitive siya sa akin.
Parang ikaw din. Ano nga yung tanong mo?
Ano yung tanong ko? Hi, I'm Nika Reyes of PLDT High Speed Hitters.
Hi, I'm Ram Palma of Petro Gazz Angels. And we're gonna do
Heart?
to heart. Paano mo ako nakitang nag-grow mula nung college at nung teammates pa tayo? Literal, nag-grow.
Actually, yung maturity nandun na nung naging teammates tayo before. And ngayon, mas nakikita ko talaga siya sa'yo kasi kaya mo na talaga mag-lead ng team eh. Kayang-kaya mo magdala ng mga teammates mo and napoprove mo sa kanila na isang magaling kang leader.
Char!
Anong feeling mo ngayon na magkalaban na tayo?
Honestly, at first, parang nung naghiwa-hiwalay na kami ng mga paths. Well, that's life. Parang kailangan nung mag-grow kung saan ka man dalhin nung destiny mo.
Tari ng destiny ah.
Di ba? Kung saan naman tayo dalhin, alam naman natin sa sarili natin na kaya nating mag-adjust and mag-fit in dun sa kung ano man ibigay sa atin.
Pero kasi nagkakausap pa rin naman tayo sa labas ng court. Kaya parang wala namang bago
Ganun
doon.
naman siya.
Yes, and kilala kita kung paano ka talaga maglaro. So, syempre nakaka-challenge.
Ano ang nag-motivate sa'yo na ituloy ang volleyball at mag-improve pa mas lalo sa laro?
I think yung mga teammates ko, sila yung nagpo-push talaga sa akin. May times talaga na mawawalan ka ng motivation at some point. Pero yung mga teammates mo, yung coaches mo, yung bibigay sa'yo ng reason why, kung bakit natin to ginagawa every day.
Well, nandun lagi yung mindset namin na why not try again? Kasi kilala namin yung isa't isa kung paano nga kami maglaro. At yung eagerness namin pag magkasama kami sa loob ng court. So, parang ako, hindi pa rin kami magbabago.
Totoo. That's a wrap!
That's a wrap indeed. Now let's hear it one last time for the PLDT High Speed Hitters and the Petro Gazz Angels. We want to get you guys involved with our conversation, and we want to get you into our Filipinas live poll question of the day. All you have to do is vote down below. The question is, which among these volleyballs will shine and become the best libero in today's game? Is it this one right here, Kath Arado for the PLDT High Speed Hitters, or is it Baby Love Barbon of the Petro Gazz Angels? Now, don't forget to use the hashtag #PVL2023 when you send in your tweets with us online. Now, Billy and Neil, I think the stage is set. We're ready for our final game of this triple header before the semis, yes?
That's right, Sam. It's ready. It's time to rock and roll here at the Phil Sports Arena. When we come back, it's PLDT versus Petro Gazz, only here on Pilipinas Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our officials for this match. Our first referee, Mark Santos, National Referee. Our second referee is Fernando Velarde, National Referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 3, team captain, Mika Reyes. Opposite hitter from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 4, Jules Samonte. Outside spiker from the University of Oklahoma, number 6, Savannah Davison. Middle blocker from the University of St. La Salle, number 13, Del Palomata. Outside spiker from the University of Perpetual Health System Delta, number 15, Royce Tubino. Center from Arellano University, number 21, Ange Legacion. Starting libero from the University of the East, number 8, Kat Arado. And the head coach for PLDT, Rald Ricafort. And now the starters for the Petro Gazz Angels. Center from the College of St. Benil, number 2, Janelle Chang. Opposite hitter from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 6, Z. Herbacio. Middle blocker from the University of the Philippines, number 11, Marian Buitre. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 12, Casey Galdones. Outside spiker from UP, number 19, Nicole Diamzon. Outside spiker from Bulacan State University, number 20, Jonas Sabete. Starting libero from the University of Santo Tomas, number 22, Baby Love Barbon. Head coach for Petro Gazz is Tilly Santo Tomas. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is PLDT versus Petro Gazz.
Here are your starters. Start a new way to watch the PVL via the Pilipinas Live app for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for 149 pesos. The starting lineup on your screens for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. And onto the other side, the starters this time for the Petro Gazz Angels. So we see a couple of people starting for the first time. We have Z Hervasio. I know Nicole Chamzon started a couple of games back, but this is Z's first time to start, Neil, here in this conference.
She's also one of the veterans of the Petro Gazz Angels. She has so much experience, not just on the indoor floor, but also on the beach court.
That's right.
So I don't think that there will be big adjustments really with the new players on the floor for Petro Gazz. And for PLDT, we see Legacion as the starting
That's
setter.
right.
We already saw this in their previous game. Wala pa si Rede Makulangan.
And nabanggit nga ni Sam kanina that Aiza Maisa Pontillas will not be playing today, as well as Gretchel Soltones. So a couple of adjustments here for the Petro Gazz Angels. But so far, good start for them.
Jonas Sabete will get a check ball. Again, the winner of this match will have a 7-4 win-loss card, and the loser will end with a 6-5 win-loss card. So just by looking at the records of our respective teams, you immediately know that it was a tight race to that Final Four. Cherry Tigo and Signal having an identical win-loss record na 8-3. So kinapos lang ng isang game to tie things up.
And sabi nga natin as well, you know, this is going to be a game of pride. It's going to be just pride for both our squads. They want to welcome the holidays on a good note. And they want to finish this conference strong. As Mika Reyes on deck to serve for PLDT. That sails outside. Easy point here for Petro Gazz.
I'm expecting a tight game between these two teams. Both teams are very relaxed. Actually, wala namang pressure whatsoever pagdating sa team standings. But these coaches, the players on the floor, we know they're very competitive. Syempre, ayaw din naman nila to end on a losing note for their campaign.
I mean, for PLDT, they have Savvy Davison. And she has just been playing so well here in her first conference in the PVL. As Casey Galdones gets a point for the Angels. Take a look at this. Great blocking to start us off this Tuesday. We have Jonah Sabete, part of our premier matchup a while ago against Savvy Davison. Here comes Jules Samonte, finding that open space in the blockers.
Jules Samonte has had a lot of playing time recently for PLDT then. He's been providing the attack point, supporting their main attacker in Savannah Davison and Royce Tubino.
And has been effective as well, especially in their last game. She scored 9 points. That was against F2 where they won. As we get back to this game, Cheng will find Chami. Still alive, Royce Tubino. Picked up by Sabete. They go back to Chami for the second time. Tubino goes straight to the net.
It was an awkward position to go for a pipe attack. That, of course, error will give Petro Gazz a 2-point lead.
As we check in with Sam Corrales. Go ahead, Sam.
Speaking of new faces for Petro Gazz, Marian Buitre has been finding her groove in the past 2 games, and she told me that even she is surprised at the effort and performance she's been putting out lately. Now, from becoming a middle to an opposite spiker, she turned that frustration into motivation. It's about on-scene work for Marian, since she would wake up early for a 6 a.m. workout with her strength and conditioning coach. Now, she also revealed that there were times where she doubted herself, but she just kept going, hoping one day her sacrifices will be worth it and she'll just be ready to step up. She's so grateful that she stayed healthy throughout the tough sked this conference. So let's see how she can continue to surprise us today. Witness that and more on the Pilipinas Live app for 149 pesos a month. Back to you, Billy and Will.
Thank you so much for that, Sam. And you know, it's all about being given that opportunity to shine. And for Coach Timmy, he's been giving that to Marian, and she has been repaying him as well. Right now, Petro Gazz in the lead, 4 points, 6-2. Legacion to Davison. Cheng to Chami, denied. This time to Sabete. Oh, they're gonna save that one. Hervasio. And that's gonna be a point for the high-speed hitters.
Coverage not ready on the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. Hervasio struggled in that tight set from Cheng.
But right now, Neil, Petro Gazz 3 points ahead early here in our set number 1. And that's...
We were expecting Marian Buitre to occupy the right pin with the absence of Aiza Maizo Pontillas, but Coach Timmy, I guess, believes that she will produce better as a middle blocker dahil natural na yun sa kanya even in her collegiate days.
And now she is back as a middle blocker here for Petro Gazz as Legacion finds Royce Tobino. Cheng to Buitre. Palumata. That's going to be a point for PLDT. Net touch violation on a Petro Gazz Angel.
Slow start coming from the high-speed hitters.
We also saw that unfortunate service error on the part of Savvy Davison, something that we don't see often. On the scoreboard, it is 7-4 for PLDT. Nicole Chamzon off the hands of a PLDT high-speed hitter.
Out-of-system play designed perfectly for Tiamzon. And she's the type of player that reads the block first before she decides on a hit or an angle.
And she is a very, very smart player. And she's been in the PVL for quite some time now as well. No coverage there for PLDT. And what's going on here at the side of the high-speed hitters, Neil?
Again, they've been slow in terms of reaction time pagdating sa coverage. They've had a couple of clean hits in, but the defense of the Petro Gazz Angels have been holding up. Marian Buitre already registering 2 kill blocks here in the first half of the opening set.
Biglang bawi naman si Mika Reyes. Much-needed point for the white shirts. They cut the lead down to 4 points. Again, for those who just tuned in, this is the last game of our preliminary round. Also the last game for both these teams as Signal won against Jerflor in our first match. Cheng will give this one to Jonah. And it is outside.
Right now, you can see the control in passing sa side ng Petro Gazz. Every time they get loose balls, naiaangat nila ng tama yung bola papunta kay Cheng. So she's having an easier time giving these sets to the left pin kahit na loose ball yung nakukuha nila.
And you can see that Petro Gazz are more relaxed coming into this game as compared to PLDT. Jules Samonte, good defense by Hervasio. Legacion, back set to Jules. And that is outside, so the woes continue here for PLDT in set number 1.
Too much angle on that hit from Jules Samonte. The cross-court angle was way open for the taking, but she decided to change directions.
It's 5 errors now for PLDT. Good hustle for Petro Gazz, but that will be a point for the high-speed hitters as they play catch-up here.
That is the effort that you want to see, even if it wasn't the best of passes. Pagdating sa una, yung suporta yung hinahanap ng coaches.
Nakikita natin yung hustle dito sa side ng Angels, which is a bit lacking here in the side of PLDT. Here comes Jonas Sabete, puts it away!
Signature Jonas Sabete. Again, we were expecting an explosive matchup between Jonas Sabete and Savvy Davison. And right now, it has been Jonas Sabete and the rest of the Petro Gazz Angels that has been in control here in the first set.
And this is without Gretchen Soltones and Aiza Maizo Pontillas playing today for them. Sabete again. They're able to save it. And that will go to PLDT.
Differential set to Mika Reyes. Times it well. She gets it off the hands of Ziher Vasho.
Right now, Mika Reyes, one of the top scorers for PLDT. 2 points for her in set number 1. Here comes Sabete again.
So Sabete just maximizing the hands of Sari Davison.
As we go to our first technical timeout, Petro Gazz in the lead, 13-7.
Jump.
Get access to the second All-Filipino conference of the Premier Volleyball League live and in HD on One Sports Plus, plus more premium channels for the whole family when you switch to Signal Postpaid. Subscribe to Plan 520 and enjoy 3 free months with no cash out. Call 88555 or visit your nearest Signal dealer. Back here at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City, we have familiar faces, former Blue Eagles in attendance. I'm pretty sure they are supporting their best friend, Jules Samonte. We have Pauline Gaston.
Tina Belia is also here.
And as we all know, they are best friends with Jules. And of course, we have the Lady Beast, Rachel Soltones. Sabi nga natin kanina, she will not be playing in today's game. But Sam said she is healthy, just taking a little bit of a break. Obviously cheering on her teammates, Jonas Sabete. Well-deserved break naman talaga for Gretchel. She is a 7th best scorer in the league in terms of our rankings. Job well done for her. Just really being that go-to girl here for Petro Gazz.
Same goes for Aiza Maizo Pontillas. They get their much-deserved rest and they're letting the young ones gain experience, take control, and end things with a bang for Petro Gazz.
Para masaya ang Pasko ng Petro Gazz Angels. But don't look now because Savvy Davison has other plans.
This is a really strong front line for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. Kahit na dalawa lang yung attackers nila, it's Del Palomata and Savvy Davison. There are a lot of different combination plays that they can go to. Now you see the veterans, Erica Santos and Rhea de Macolangan also supporting their teammates.
Also in civilian, so not playing today. As we get back to our match, we got Casey Galdones with another point here for the Angels. Let's take a look at this. Challenging the blockers of PLDT. That is her second point of our game, and she will serve for the Angels. That's a good serve. Chance here for Petro Gazz, as Cheng will find Ziher Vasho. Again, you can really see, Neil, that Petro Gazz is just absolutely taking charge of this first set.
The attackers have to be ready. Nakita naman natin yung set ni Cheng. It was a low-pass set to Ziher Vasho.
And for PLDT, they need to hustle a little bit more kasi lumalaki na yung lamang ng Petro Gazz Angels. And they go to Boitre. Joins the scoring party here for Petro Gazz.
Cheng just utilizing all of the attackers in the front line right now. They're playing it simple, but the positioning has been on point, lalo na pagdating sa point of attack. You saw a quick play from Buitre. I guess the intention talaga for Cheng is for Del Palomata to move left and right para malito siya and get a single block coverage.
Finally, a point here for PLDT. You also see Ceballos on the court for the high-speed hitters. At the sidelines, we got Coach Raul. Not really sure what's happening to the high-speed hitters right now, but they get that lucky point from Savvy Davison. Take a look at the attack points. 6 for PLDT, 8 for Petro Gazz. Again, Davison just taking matters, into her own hands here in set number 1.
Not the best of forms displayed by Cheng. That's why she was also disappointed, because she was in the right place.
Davison serving. It's a 6-point lead for the Angels. Buitre with a quick one. It continues for Petro Gazz. Everybody contributing in their own little way.
Middles have been involved in most of the plays for the Angels. And now they're up by 7 points.
Here comes Z. Legacion will find Palomata. Good coverage. Sabete from the back. Nandoon si Barbon. Legacion. Nandoon si Chami.
Such a smart move from Changzon to go for a block.
Right now, Neil, it has ballooned to an 8-point advantage here for the Petro Gazz Angels. Z continues to serve, and that is going to be a service ace for Curvacio.
Nothing working on the side of the high-speed hitters right now. That has been one of their weak spots. Pag hindi si Kat Arado yung nakakakuha ng reception, sometimes nagkakaroon ng maraming broken plays itong high-speed hitters.
Some adjustments need to be made if you're PLDT. And what happened there, Neil?
Gervasio stepped on the line.
Natawa na lang sina Coach Timmy. Score right now on the scoreboard, 11-19. They have fielded in Mitch Morente, hoping to add some firepower here in the side of the high-speed hitters. Chami. And that is inside. Well, everything just working here for Petro Gazz.
The players from the high-speed hitters thought that it hit the antenna.
Right.
Nobody even moved.
Yes. Kasi natamaan yung net. So, akala nila that it was the antenna that got hit. Great blocking, but that's gonna sail outside off the block. Chance here for PLDT. 8 points ang lamang ng Petro Gazz. Legacion on deck to serve. Barbon will find Sabete. Babalik sa Angels. Here comes Sabete again. Better attempt. Good coverage for PLDT. Cheng to Jonah.
Set was way off. Lampas sa antenna. Jonah tried to be crafty and put that ball behind the blockers.
Take a look at that.
Great hustle on the side of PLDT. Like a shot saving that ball.
That's what we need to see from PLDT, especially towards the end of this first set. Cheng to Jonah Sabete. The Petro Gazz Angels just making their mark here in our first set.
All of the attackers on the floor have registered their respective points in the first set. So dun mo rin makikita yung sistema ni Cheng when it comes to distributing these balls.
That was Jonah Sabete's 5th point in the first. Ceballos. They go to Chami. Good dig by Arado. Ceballos again. Unsuccessful. They find Jonah Sabete. And that is going to sail outside. But you know, on the side of PLDT, you can see them fighting,
Yeah.
especially in the last few sequences.
Well, Jonas Abete just showing us the different tricks she has. And we have to remember na isa siya doon sa top 3 ng Petro Gazz pagdating sa
Right.
scoring. Maizu Pontilla, Soltones, and Jonas Abete. And now that wala yung dalawa, she is really slated to
She's
be
gonna be in charge.
the top scorer for this squad.
Well, here she is again. Unfortunately, she's blocked. And PLDT gets that point.
This is a comfortable lead for the Petro Gazz Angels. Pero ang maganda naman for PLDT, they're starting to get their numbers in pagdating sa depensa, that first line of defense holding up to prevent the attacks of Jonas Abete from coming in.
Sabi mo nga, you know, it's a pretty comfortable lead here for Petro Gazz. If you're PLDT, you wanna finish this set strong to carry that momentum to the second set. But we'll see what happens and how things pan out. Here comes Jules Samonte. She is denied.
It's another kill block for the Petro Gazz Angels, this time courtesy of Casey Galgones. Petro Gazz has been very organized pagdating sa blocking nila. They've been putting up double blocks since the start of the first set, and that's another service ace for the Angels.
Right now, they are at set point 24-14. Much to the delight of the veterans of the team. And that is going to be a service error for Cheng. Some breathing room, so to speak, here for PLDT. But again, it's a pretty big lead. Set point na ang Petro Gazz Angels. Mika Reyes, 15, serving 24. Z Hervasio. Gonna sail outside, too wide for Z.
There was no spin on that ball. Coach Timmy is looking for the wrist action sa approach ni Z Hervasio.
Hervasio, bump set to Sabete. Chance here for PLDT. Savvy Davison, she's denied. Great coverage by Legacion. Cheng. Sabete blocked. Savvy again. Petro Gazz not giving up. Del Palomata with a quick one. Nandoon si Cheng. Samonte keeps it alive. Oh, there's going to be a challenge called by Coach Raul Ricafort. He's going to say there's a net touch. We're going to check what play he was talking about, what sequence he was talking about.
If they lose that challenge, the point will immediately go to the Petro Gazz Angels. They will be winning the first set here in our last game of our preliminaries. Ang bilis ng panahon.
Mabilis, pero 23 game days rin.
Yeah.
I mean, a span of, let's say, I think around a month, 2 months. As we head on over to our semifinals, as we mentioned.
Okay naman yung if you're a person here, the ones who are getting blocked.
This has an off-field.
Hindi, same na lang ulit. It's inside.
I know, but it's not the same as normal.
Then you're getting this. So if you're gonna get your data, you don't hit super hard mo na na-low ko. Same din eh. They can establish good blocks talaga.
Take a look and see, was there a net touch violation? Neil is shaking his hands. Parang wala.
I think it was the ball that grazed the tip of the
Yeah,
net.
that's why. Kaya may movement sa net. So it is going to be an unsuccessful challenge here for Coach Raul Ricafort and the rest of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. Which means that is it for our first set. And it goes to to the Petro Gazz Angels 25-16. We're back here at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. New streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app, available for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos. As you can see on your screens, 23 minutes of play, 25-16, and that set belonged to the Petro Gazz Angels, and everybody in their team contributed something to the table.
Petro Gazz really started by getting a couple of clean hits in, and then they started to set up their defense. They got a couple of points from the net defense of Casey Galdones and Marian Buitre, setting the tone for the rest of the defenders sa likuran for the Angels. And after that, they started to serve heavily to the dismay of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. You see the difference in the attacking, 13 for Petro Gazz, only 8 for the High Speed Hitters. They did have their own fair share of defensive touches dun sa duo ni Jules Samonte and Mika Reyes, but clearly it wasn't enough to overpower the balanced effort displayed by the Petro Gazz Angels.
So what can we expect from the PLDT High Speed Hitters as we enter this second set, Neil? What do they need to do? Do they need that sense of urgency, or maybe just to wake up yung energy boost na yun?
That's correct. They do have to wake up. They have to show more energy because the energy was a bit flat. Nobody was actually communicating in set number 1, and I felt like they were just waiting for the set to end para makabawi sila ng set number 2. But now, Fiona Ceballos will be starting for Coach Arald Ricafort for the Petro Gazz Angels. It will be the same starting unit.
And you can also, see and sense the body language here of the PLDT High Speed Hitters as compared to the Petro Gazz Angels. For those who just tuned in, I'm Billy Capistrano, Neil Flores, and Sam Corrales manning the sidelines for us today. It is our last game of the preliminary round. The PLDT High Speed Hitters versus the Petro Gazz Angels. We have the semifinals starting on Thursday as we start set number 2 here at the Phil Sports Arena. Hervasio will try. Good dig by Arada. They send it to Davison. And that's gonna sail outside for Savvy. So not the best of starts that you'd want if you're from PLDT.
Challenged the line too much in the previous rally. But I would say for her first conference, she did a good job. I mean, her introduction to Philippine volleyball, I'm sure marami siyang nag-gain na fans and hearts of the Filipinos. I won't be surprised if babalik siya in the next coming conferences.
Right now, Savvy Davison averaging close to 18 points per game. But before that, before we talk about her even more, let's check in with Sam Corrales.
Billy and Neil, earlier you were just talking about body language and energy. So when I checked in with the PLDT High Speed Hitters, Kath Arado actually told me that nanghihinayang talaga sila that they did not make it to the semis. They wanted to make the coaches proud, especially after making it to the semis in the last 2 conferences this year. Now what's interesting is that Kath is already looking ahead to the next year. Sama-sama pa rin daw sila, tanggap nila ang sistema. But of course, hopefully they can end things on a high note with one last win today. You can catch this and more in the Pilipinas Live app for 149 pesos a month, available for Filipinos everywhere. Back to you, Billy and Neil.
Well, that definitely, plays a big role, Neil, especially that mental toughness coming into this game. Wanting something so bad, like getting into that semi-finals. But, you got to shake it off. It's a new day. And for the PLDT High Speed Hitters, they have to redeem themselves in their match against Petro Gazz. We are tied at 2-all. Chami. Joust at the net. Good hustle by Legacion, but that's going to go to the Petro Gazz Angels.
There's a scramble on the floor for the high-speed hitters, and Marian Buitre still controlling the defense sa harapan. That is her third block, based on my count.
So 1-point lead now for Petro Gazz here in our second set. Z Hervasio on deck to serve for the Angels. Legacion finds Davison. They go to Chamzon again. Savvy. As Cheng tries to tip it to the other side, unsuccessful. Davison again. Jonah from the back row.
Jonas Abete still continuing to shine. This time off that back row attack. So for Petro Gazz, parang they will never run out of options pagdating sa offense.
I mean, with Jonah Sabete there, Count Chami and Z Hervasio, Marian Buitre as well. Chance here for PLDT. They go to Del. That's outside. They were hoping for it to drop in. But unfortunately, not the best of starts again here for the high-speed hitters.
Legacion really has to get the production from Del Palomata. Clearly, she is the tallest one on the floor. That is a big advantage for the high-speed hitters.
And they need to activate her, if I'm not mistaken. She is the tallest player we have in the league right now. Savvy Davison finding that donut hole in the side of the Angels. A while ago, we saw Jo Prado. Of course, we miss seeing her on the court, but let's take a look at this. Davison on deck to serve for the white shirts. Cheng to Buitre. Ceballos, popped up by Barbon. Sabete from the back. More fight we're seeing here from PLDT. Petro Gazz tries to save it. They could have, but off the hands of Z Hervasio.
A for effort, but the PLDT now just trailing by a single point. Great dig there coming from Jules Samonte and Savvy Davison with a strong finish to that rally.
8 points now for Savvy Davison, leading all the scorers for PLDT. And in this match, too, a little too short for Jonah Sabete. And right now, we are tied 5-all here in set number 2. So it's the awakening of the PLDT high-speed hitters. About time for them. 8 points off 6 attacks. 2 blocks for Savvy. Nicole Chamzon quickly makes it a 1-point game.
Every time that Legacion is in the front line, you can expect the outside hitters of the Petro Gazz Angels na padaanin sa kanya yon. So Legacion has to get the timing right if she wants to get good touches on the attacks of the Angels.
A little too short on that 1-2 play from Cheng. Good intention, just wasn't executed properly for her.
Buitre didn't go for the swing. She was actually surprised.
Yeah.
But that is the setting style of Cheng. You always have to give a convincing approach. Kasi kahit malayo yung receive, pwedeng ihatid sa gitna.
That is true. And that's what we know of her. 6 points for both our squads. Legacion to Ceballos. She's blocked. Davison from the back row gets it.
She has been leading the attacks category. Her family is also here, I'm assuming.
That's gonna be a good lead now for PLDT. If I'm not mistaken, their first lead here in this game. Good sign for the high-speed hitters, but not for long, says Marian Buitre.
Now this is a tighter set we're seeing from both teams.
And this is good as well, you know, Neil, for the fans. I mean, this is the last game of the elimination round. As Buitre right now, 5 points, will serve. Ceballos.
The spark plug of the high-speed hitters now getting an attack point in. And this is sa mga comeback stories natin here in the PVL. Piola Ceballos.
We love to see it. Did not score in their previous match against F2. Right now has 2 points under her belt. Cheng to Jonah. Savvy. Chamzon. Bob set to Jules Samonte, picked up by Z Hervasio, and they go to Galdones. She's blocked. Oh, that's gonna be an error called on a Petro Gazz Angel.
So Barbon actually set it up beyond the attack line. So hindi pwedeng overhead.
So that is gonna be a free point given to the high-speed hitters. They are up by 2 points here in our second set. Much better showing for this team here. Off the hands of Jonah Sabete. That is a service ace for Legacion.
Here comes the high-speed hitters. And it all started with the consecutive attack points of Savannah Davison. And if you have a teammate like that, of course, you will also get encouraged to score the same way.
You've been talking about that energy, and they need that energy. They need that confidence as well in this match. Here comes Galdones off the block.
First time that they went to that slide attack.
Back to a 2-point ball game in favor of PLDT. Ceballos, drop ball, no go. Smart play by Chami, but it's still alive. Babalik kay Ceballos. Back set to Z Hervasio. Savvy chased that one. Jules Samonte. Good coverage from Ceballos. A chance here for Petro Gazz. Jonah, no go. We got a rally going on here. Savvy, popped up by Barbon. And Z. Both teams alive and kicking here in our second set. Jules Samonte, still nothing. Chance for PLDT. It is still going. And that will go to the Petro Gazz Angels off the block for Jonah Sabete.
That was a very big point for the Petro Gazz Angels. We have to give credit to the libero of the Angels, Bila Barbon, solid on the floor. So much ball control, and yung pagbabasa niya dun sa attackers, you can really see her position herself in the right places at the right time. That is not a good way to start the next rally.
That's
if you're
right.
coming off a long one.
Napapikit na lang si Bilang Barbon sa service error ni Janelle Cheng. 2-point ball game. PLDT in the lead, 11-9. Here comes Fiola Ceballos. Z Hervasio. Kath Arado with a good dig. Savvy Davison challenging those blockers. Almost, but not quite for the Petro Gazz Angels. But again, Neil, we gotta credit Bilov Barbon. She is all over the place in a good way.
That was a good ball from Bilov Barbon. It's just that the other defenders were chasing after
too
the ball.
far off, right.
So, ang hirap mag-change ng direction last second. But Savannah Davison has been on a roll for the high-speed hitters.
As she should, because her team dropped that first set. That is a point now for PLDT as we move on to our technical timeout. The high-speed hitters in the lead, 13-9. Angat ang laban sa pinakabagong sports app na Pilipinas Live. Mapapanood ang PBA Season 48 live in high definition and on demand on any device. Available worldwide. Download and register now for free. Still here at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City, Billy Capistrano, Neil Flores, and of course, Sam Corrales, double duty today, manning the sidelines for us. Last game of our elimination round. We got the PLDT High Speed Hitters versus the Petro Gazz Angels, who took that set number 1. These two teams, they're playing for pride, and they wanna welcome the holidays on a high note para naman masaya ang Pasko.
That is correct. Kat Arado is being Kat Arado on the floor. Every time she gets an opportunity to get a good dig or a good receive, dun sila nagkakaroon ng equal opportunity to score off their attack. And for sure, Savannah Davison is the leading scorer for PLDT.
And that's gonna be a service ace for PLDT.
PLDT has been targeting Jonah Sabete. Mukhang that's part of their game plan na pagurin itong si Jonah.
Kasi nga, she is the leading scorer for the Petro Gazz Angels. 8 points for her in our ball game. Here comes Jonah. They give it to Savvy. Oh, that's going to be a net touch violation, I believe, on Casey Galdones.
This lead is now at 6.
Right, so the tables have turned here in our second set. For PLDT, it was a very, very slow start in that set number 1. So it looks like yun ang nangyayari sa Petro Gazz Angels. Single block by Mika Reyes. Legacion, good coverage. They go to Davison, drop ball. Barbon, bump set. And the cross court is good for Jonah Sabete.
Judgment call for Legacion. It was beyond her shoulder, so there was a chance na lalabas nga naman yung bola.
Jonah Sabete, 129 points for her in our second All-Filipino conference. As Legacion will find Jules Samonte breaking that Petro Gazz wall.
Talagang lamang ng PLDT to 6 points. They're using the same tactics that Petro Gazz used in set number 1. Now they're targeting their serves well. They're putting power and pressure on the receivers of Petro Gazz.
Better energy we're seeing as well for the high-speed hitters. Jamson. Here comes Savvy again. Good hustle being shown by Petro Gazz as they send it over to Chami. And that is going to go to PLDT.
Now the unforced errors are piling up on the side of the Angels. Coach Timmy Santo Tomas will call for time.
Diba,
Kailangan
ulit.
mo umapros. Sa akin naman bumabalik sa atin yung bola ng magaan. Kaso nga lang, nag-aantay ka lang doon sa gitna. Umatras ka ng maayos, humingi ka ng bola. Ugaling mo kasi humingi ng bola para alam mo na trabaho mo, umaatras ka. Okay? Ate Chex, tama yun. Pagalawin mo lang, huwag lang masyadong tayo kasi si Den, nag-aabang lang siya doon na nakatayo sa tapat niya. So, kailangan mo siyang pagalawin. Okay? So, kailangan natin pumasa, girls. Ha?
Kaya ka ba na?
Petro Gazz Angels now looking at a 7-point deficit against the PLDT High Speed Hitters. You saw on your screens Rem Palma giving some pointers to Casey Galdones. Rem has not seen action yet here in our game today. Here comes Mika Reyes, and that goes straight to the net. Chance here for Petro Gazz to regain that momentum in our second set.
Petro Gazz will have 3 attackers in the front row.
They gotta get something going here for them. Talking about Petro Gazz. Legacion to Jules Samonte. That is gonna go to PLDT again. Let's take a look at this. It was a good dig from Casey Galdones, but Savvy Davison just there at the right moment. Cheng to Chami. Babalik sa Petro Gazz. Z this time. Off the block for her Basho.
The power hitter that she is, she just shows the right angle. Sometimes when you have a blocker na mataas tumalon, mas gusto pa nga ng mga attackers. Kasi kitang-kita nila kung saan pwedeng patamain yung bola eh. Now, double substitution for Petro Gazz. She saw it, and Espina will come in for the very first time.
So it's a veteran in the young blood, Matet Espina, and Chi saw it. And Chi will serve for Petro Gazz. Legacion to Del Palomata, and that's what you were saying, Neil. You were hoping that they would involve Del Palomata more. As we take a look at this.
I think that is their first point of that quick.
That's right, first point, you're correct. That's Del Palomata's first point of the ball game. Hoping to see many more from her. Espina. No go, Legacion to Savvy right in front of Jonas Sabete.
She has been unstoppable, establishing this 8-point lead for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. From the left pin to the back row, she can do it all.
What a great addition to this team. Talking about Davison, it is an 8-point lead now for PLDT. They go to Ceballos, and a monster block from Marian Buitre.
Compared to the attack points, parang mas marami pa nga siyang nakuha from the defensive touches. That says a lot about her talent as a middle blocker. And they need all the kill blocks that they can get because they are still down by 7 points.
Buitre now with 7 points under her belt. And another one for Petro Gazz. That's going to be an attack error called on Fiola Ceballos. Slowly but surely, Petro Gazz trying to play catch-up here. Oh, but they're going to call a challenge on that. PLDT will call a block touch. So we will see what the final call is. It's going to be a crucial one here for the high-speed hitters and for the Angels.
Kaya yung challenge nung kung kaya niya i-sharp, pwede. Pero yung pinag-usapan niya kahapon na maikli, padaan sa block. Hindi, pag binanatan nyo, mabag naman ako. Kung wala ko talaga sa pwesto, i-recycle mo na lang.
Let's take a look and see. Was there a block touch? Parang wala namang block touch. Medyo malayo rin yung ball from the pinky.
Yeah.
I think that is Matet Espina, if I am not mistaken. But yes, that's going to be an unsuccessful challenge for Coach Rald Ricafort and company. So the point will remain with Petro Gazz. Here comes Chami on deck to serve for the black shirts. They're gonna chase it. Chance for Petro Gazz. They're down by 6. Sabete powering through. No go. Barbon. They go to Espina. Del again. That is her second point.
That was the correct decision from Legacion to give that ball papunta kay Del Palomata.
And we have Jessie De Leon coming in for the first time in our match, as well as Mika Reyes. Jessie will go straight to the service line for the white shirts. Saet finds Sabete. Great hustle from PLDT. They go to Sabete again. Makes sure that she gets it the second time around.
Petro Gazz Angels is trying to come up with consecutive points in this rotation.
6-point advantage now, Neil, for PLDT. Pretty comfortable lead for them. Same thing that happened to Petro Gazz in that first set. We'll see how things roll out for both these teams, but it looks like PLDT might be able to take this second set.
There was also a net violation on one of the blockers of the Petro Gazz Angels. So that point will really go to PLDT, and they have recovered from the first set. We mentioned that it was very flat in terms of
Was unlike
energy
them,
and
right?
body language, but now everybody's getting good touches. Everybody's focusing on their respective roles.
Take a look at this replay. That was Casey Galdones. Good find for her. We got substitutions again. Saet and Espina will take a bit of a break as Z and Janelle Cheng check in again. Here comes Cheng. Davison from the back. Straight to Cheng. They send it over to Jonas Sabete.
That is point number 11 for Jonas Sabete. All of the points from Sabete came from attacks, and she is now the first player to reach the double-digit mark for the black shirts.
On the other side for PLDT, in double digits we have Savvy Davison as expected. So again, our premier matchup, Davison versus Jonah Sabete, both with 11 points. Arado, bump set to Ceballos. Smart move from Viola. Nobody there for Petro Gazz.
If you're not going to go for that block, you have to position yourself to defend these soft touches from their opponent.
A gaping hole in the defense of Petro Gazz. And that is 2 straight points for Ceballos. Right now, PLDT at set point. They are poised to get this second set. Ceballos serving. Jonah, drop ball. Legacion to Savvy. Powering through against those blockers and the PLDT High Speed Hitters. Well, they take this second set. Let's take a look at that last play from Savvy Davison. It is her 12th point of the game to lead all the scorers in our match. So again, the PLDT High Speed Hitters take set number 2 from the Petro Gazz Angels, 25-17.
Welcome back. You're still watching this game between the PLDT High Speed Hitters and the Petro Gazz Angels for the last game of the preliminary round of the All-Filipino Conference. Now, if you guys are wondering what the PLDT High Speed Hitters are listening to before each game day, well, Mika Reyes went into courtside reporter mode and asked her teammates what their pregame songs are. Now, I think she's just enjoying the job that I'm doing right now, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. So I want to turn it over to you guys, Billy and Neil, because I know Billy knows a thing or two about making playlists. Any song you want to recommend to all of our players over here?
Well, I don't know, Neil. How about you? Any song that you want to recommend? Because I know you're the athlete here. So what songs do you like to listen to hype you up before we get to our set highlights?
I can remember my playlist when I was in college, but I'll get back to you on that.
All right. We're going to talk more about that later. In the meantime, new streaming experiences also await via the Pilipinas Live app. Available for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos. We'll talk music later. Right now, Neil, let's talk about that set number 2. 25-17 in favor of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. And it was about time that they really woke up and kind of shook the jitters off, I suppose.
It was just a mirror image of the Petro Gazz Angel performance in set number 1. Yun yung nakuha ng PLDT. They had a lot of defensive touches. They also had a lot of hard serves that contributed to their service aces. But the biggest contributor in set number 2 was Savannah Davison. Higher percentage attack efficiency compared to the opening set. And she got bulk of the sets from Legacion. And it really worked for them. And now they were on top in the attacking department, 14-12. And they had 3 service aces. They also forced the Petro Gazz Angels to commit 8 mistakes in set number 2.
So again, a much better showing here for the PLDT High Speed Hitters and 26 minutes of play. So this game can go either way. I mean, if you're a PLDT and Petro Gazz fan, you're hoping for a good game. Well, looks like we are having a good game right now for Jonah Sabete. She has scored 11 points in our match today. On the other hand, Savvy Davison, 12 points for her. So this, was our premier matchup that we talked about during our pregame. Set number 3 underway. Mika Reyes with a slight attack, popped up by Zeke Hervasio. And that is going to be the first point of our third set, care of Casey Galdones.
We're going to dissect how they played in set number 1 and set number 2. It was a team who had a lot of heavy serves in that won those respective sets. Now, Legacion is starting to go to these combination plays from the middle. Wala tayong nakitang ganyan kanina because they had problems in passing. But now, even Savvy Davison has settled down pagdating sa receiving end.
So everybody's looking a little bit more calm here in our third set, more assured of what they're supposed to do and how they're gonna do it. Cheng to Hervasio. Nandoon si Arado. Here comes Savvy Davison, straight to Chami. See again, no fear on the attack, and that's gonna go to the Petro Gazz Angels. That is a touch violation. Called on, I believe, Fiola Ceballos.
Double contact called on Fiola. It happens pag sobrang bilis ng balikan ng bola and you suddenly find the ball on top of your head. Of course, you have to go for that overhead. But the control and that spin, syempre, it also needs parang finesse.
That's right. And eagle eyes by our referee as well. Petro Gazz holds on to a slim 1-point lead. Babalik sa PLDT ang bola. Savvy, still nothing. Mika Reyes takes charge. Ball is still live. Cheng to Chami. That is going to be an attack error. Goes straight to the net for Nicole Chamzon.
Wanted to avoid the double block of Jules Samonte and Mika Reyes.
We are tied early on here. 2-all for both PLDT and Petro Gazz. Mika Reyes on deck to serve for the white shirts. She has 2 points in our ball game. Cheng to Galdones. To Chami. Nandoon si Mika. They go to Savvy, using the hands of the blockers. And that's going to be the first point of Jonah in our third set as we turn it over to Sam Corrales.
Savvy Davison has been steady all conference long for the PLDT High Speed Hitters, and she told me it's because she's never at 150%, always at around 85. Now this is something that she wants to impart to the squad, staying at a steady level regardless if they are up or down a couple of points. She said that she approaches games lightly, trying to silence the internal pressure so that she can focus on the game. And that's exactly what she did in that last set, as she did the lifting for PLDT. Now fans will surely miss her, so you can continue to support her here on the Pilipinas Live app for 149 pesos a month. Back to you, Billy and Neil.
Thank you so much for that, Sam. I like that mindset, 85%, because usually you hear always at 100, but for Savvy Davison, as Sam mentioned, she is at 85 on cruise control, so to speak, and well, it has been working for her, especially in this game. But for the Petro Gazz Angels and her counterpart, si Jonah Sabete, let's take a look at this.
That is point number 13 for Jonah Sabete, and right now Davison is also at 12.
So neck to neck ang scoring ng dalawang outside hitters from both our teams. They go to Del Palomata. Nandoon si Buitre. Davison using the hands of Marian Buitre.
Now she ties the production of Jonah Sabete as she moves to the service line.
And as Neil mentioned a while ago, that is her family on the screen that we had a while ago, enjoying this match. Mighty proud of Savvy, I'm sure. As Legacion will find Ceballos. Good dive by Z. Ceballos again getting it through the block.
Well, Ceballos powering through the two-woman block of the Petro Gazz Angels. Pag 85% si Davison, and naman si Ceballos 100%
Always.
pagdating sa power.
But you know, it really differs from player to player and what works for you right here. Ikaw ba nung naglalaro ka? Were you always at 100 or you kind of reserved a little bit more energy?
I understand the cruise control aspect
Right.
of Savvy Davison's game, lalo na pagdating sa 5-setter.
Correct.
But you always have to learn how to push yourself to 100% in certain points of the game,
Right.
especially in crucial parts of the
That's
game.
right. So maybe what Savvy was saying, yung energy niya at 85 pero mindset to win always at 100. Is
She's just mindful
Correct.
that hindi siya mauubos in the end.
hindi siya kakapusin sa dulo. Well, it has been working for her, as we said. Both teams tied at 5-all, not for long. That's going to be a point for Petro Gazz. One-point lead now for the Angels. A closer third set that we're having as Chamzon will serve. And that is Del Palomata's fourth point here in our game. She did not score anything in that first set, and I believe in that second set as well. So she is joining the scoring party this time for PLDT, and just in time as well. We're tied at 6. Cheng to Buitre. Nandoon si Barbon as Cheng will find Jonah Sabete. Ceballos. Sabete again. Better this time.
Jonah Sabete targeting the middle blocker of the high-speed hitters. We see that most of the time, pag nagsaserve yung middle blocker, they always man yung cross-court angle from the blocker's point of view. And since it's not their specialty, there is a tendency that they make a mistake on the dig.
That's gonna sail outside for Buitre. Free point given here to PLDT to tie this game at 7-all. The third set alone, we have had 6 deadlocks. So this is gonna be a good sign for all the fans. Both teams are in it to win it, as Cheng will go to Galdones, who is blocked by Ceballos. There's gonna be a net touch violation.
Kat Arado didn't see the placement of Legasyon. Patakbo pa lang siya, nandun agad yung bola sa setter's box.
Samonte off the hands of Cheng. That's her 6th point of our game. A quiet 6 points for Jules Samonte.
He's just there in the background, but hindi mo mamamalayan yung 6 points na yun. Maya-maya double digits na. So Petro Gazz has to tighten up their defense because that was their key to victory in set number 1. And right now, we see a lot of loose ends pagdating sa first line of defense nila.
Great coverage there by Davison. Great hustle from her as we go to Ziher Vasho. Arado bob set to Savvy Davison.
Ooh. What a hit from Davison. Just hitting it above the hands of Jonah Sabete and Casey Galdones.
She is also so athletic. Talking about Savannah Davison. And I'm sure that her family watching right now so proud of what she's doing. But unfortunately for Fiola Ceballos, that will be a service error and a free point given to the Angels. So we are at another deadlock, 9-all. Legasyon, back to Savvy. She is on fire here in our 3rd set.
The wind-up and the swing, you already knew that it was going to be a point for the high-speed hitters. And even though she was the target of the serve from the Petro Gazz Angels, naiangat niya ng tama eh. The height was perfect so that she can go for an approach. And the follow-through just led to that point for PLDT. But
that is something that you do not want, especially after such a convincing attack by your teammate. That's going to be a service error for Mika Reyes. Coach Gerald obviously not very happy about that. We're back at another deadlock. Oh, nagpalitan. Now service errors. So lucky point there for PLDT. They're up by 1.
they've been exchanging unforced errors on the service line. Both teams have to remember that whoever controls the serve will control the defense and the offense in the next touches.
We'll also have that momentum moving forward. Again, 1 point advantage for PLDT. Here comes Ziher Vasho. Hesitated a little bit. Here comes Savvy. She's blocked. And Ziher Vasho, I mean, celebrating that. Must have felt good for her.
It's not an easy task to block a player like Savvy Davison. But the outstretched arms of Ziher Vasho did the trick for the Angels.
11-all, so it has been a series of deadlocks in our third set. Legasyon to Savannah Davison.
can block her once, but you will have a difficult time in blocking her 2 straight times. That's point number 16.
She is racking up the points in our ball game. Talking about Savvy Davison. Her team is up by 1. Soft touch. Ceballos with her soft touch of her own. And right now, PLDT, so far so good for them. Heading into our technical timeout, they are in the lead. Download Filipinas Live and get a free 7-day premium access. Enjoy the NBA, PGA, UAAP, and the PVL along with highlights, updates, and original programs. Still here at the Phil Sports Arena, last game of our elimination round. Benny Capistrano, Neil Flores, Sam Corrales, and of course, Savvy Davison of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. They are ahead by 2 points in our third set. Kaya naman we can see her smiling and enjoying the game. A very different PLDT team that we're seeing now compared to how they were playing in our first set. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we have the Petro Gazz Angels. They won that first set. Second set was a little bit shaky for them, but they're fighting back here in the third. For those who are not aware, we are starting our semifinals on Thursday. Stage is set for our semis. We have the Green Line 2 Smashers, the Choco Mucho. Flying Titans are back in the semis. We also have the Signal HD Spikers and the Cherry Tigo Crossovers. So these two teams are playing their last game of the conference. As Marian Buitre, she was so good in that game in their previous match against Akari. 22 big points for her, Neil. And right now she has 8 of her own. So not bad for Buitre in our match.
In the double-digit mark as well. Now they're closer to tying things up.
Ceballos through the block.
You really can't leave a small gap pag si Viola Ceballos yung harap mo.
Kasi sabi mga 100% at all times.
She will always maximize her opportunity. Lalo na pag na-late yung middle blocker ng Petro Gazz.
So you're supposed to always close out the block. I mean, kahit sinong player pa yan, but most especially if it is Ceballos. Jonah will try again. Better. Great coverage by Davison. Great read by Marian Buitre with a little smirk at the end of her attack.
Even before the approach, you already saw that opening behind the blockers of High Speed Hitters. And again, it was Del Palomata manning that zone.
Much to the delight of the Petro Gazz Angels because they cut the lead down to just 1 point. Here comes Buitre. Legacion to Ceballos, changes tempo.
PLDT just keeping a good amount of points in terms of distance between them and the Petro Gazz Angels.
That is point number 10, Neil, for Viola Ceballos, providing that ample support for Savvy Davison for PLDT. 15 serving 13. Cheng will find Jonas Sabete. Oh, it's still alive for Petro Gazz. Drop ball rather. Here comes Fiola. She's got plans, but that is not gonna push through. Great blocking by Petro Gazz. You gotta take a look at that last play again.
That was a tight one. The PLDT had a chance to go for a challenge. That's why we saw Savvy Davison asking the coaching staff kung ba't hindi sila nag-challenge.
I
But
guess, syempre mabilis rin yung pangyayari and maybe, you know, they weren't able to see it. We don't know. But that will be in favor this time of PLDT. They're up by 2 points.
that is a tricky type of defense, yung mga one-hand digs. It's not all the time that you get to control
That's right.
the hits from your opponent. Now Fiola Ceballos is in double digits as well. 8 attacks and 2 service aces.
And she's having herself a game. Sabete, again Davison and Reyes not able to close out that block. And I don't know if the viewers can hear, but if you can hear someone saying, "Go Julie," that is Pauline Gaston. Napakalakas ng boses. Rinig na rinig namin ni Neil. But yes, her and her team are heading to the semifinals, talking about the Cheritigo crossovers. As we get back to this game, Mika Reyes, nandoon si Barbon. Hervasio will try, unsuccessful. Chance here for the Angels as Cheng will choose Galdones.
Perfect pancake save.
Chami, straight to Davison. Savvy, one-hand dig by Barbon. Chami again, unsuccessful. Samonte, another rally we have here. And that's gonna be a point for Z Hervasio. That is point number 5 for Z.
I'm just enjoying the matchup between Catarado and Vila Barbon. I know that we put a spotlight on Savvy Davison and Jonas Abete, but what about the digs and
The
the
liberos,
saves of the
right.
liberos? Pag dumadating sa kanila yung bola, hindi naman impossible. I wouldn't say that it's impossible na malapagan sila ng bola, but there's a very high chance na maiangat nila.
That's true. We know Bilov Barbon, an accomplished beach volleyball player. So sanayan sa mga ganyan. And you know, she is just a great fit here for the Petro Gazz Angels. And I mean, for Kath Arado, we were just talking about her. We know what she can do. No explanations needed. Back to this game, Hervasio. Nandoon si Legacion. Samonte, blocked. And that's going to be a point for Petro Gazz, and they tie this game 17-all.
Misset from Palomata will give the Petro Gazz Angels their 17th point of the third set. This third set will always be crucial. Alam naman natin yan pag one set apiece. Yung two teams, momentum swinger definitely.
A very, very close third set that we're having. Z Hervasio, she's denied, but it will still remain with the Petro Gazz Angels. That will go off the block.
Lead will shift. Petro Gazz will now hold a 1-point lead. Buti nakaiwas.
Muntik na. Nag-tiptoe na lang papunta sa side si Z Hervasio as we check out Casey Galdones. 6 points for her in our game. Savannah Davison. That is inside. And that is her 17th point of the game. As she ties this match 18 on the scoreboard for both our squads. Jules Samonte, 7 points for her as she serves. Cheng back set to Z Hervasio. Great to see Z getting that playing time also today. There have been some of the games where she has been a reserve. So great to see her really milking this opportunity here.
Kath Arado couldn't save that ball. Now, Petro Gazz has a 1-point lead. We've had a lot of deadlocks, a lot of lead changes.
Especially here in the third.
In the third set. Pero dito na matitest talaga yung pressure
as we inch closer towards the tail end of our third set. Patigasan na ng loob for both our squads. And Savvy finds Legacion, gives her a high five. Thanks her for that one.
Samonte said, thank you, because look at the control.
Yung
by
momentum
Legacion.
na ni Legacion, pa-left na talaga siya. She didn't stop when she gave the ball to Savvy. Dire-diretso siya doon. And right now, we're tied at 90. Not for long. Marian Buitre right on cue.
That was a perfectly set up play for Marian Buitre. Just needed to go to that wrist action of her. Saktong-sakto yung timing, the swing, the hit, and the set.
We love to see that confidence in Marian as well. Oh, but what about the PLDT High Speed Hitters? I mean, bawian lang here in this third set, Neil. If one scores a point, the other team will quickly follow. We have substitutions for Coach Rald Ricafort.
This is a good substitution from Coach Rald Ricafort. They need a defense specialist, especially pag middle blocker yung nagsaserve, because they have been the targets of the attacks of the Petro Gazz Angels.
And that is Mitch Morente. Unfortunately, it's going to be a service error right off the bench for her. Shaky hands for Morente. Abante ang Petro Gazz by 1. Buitre on deck to serve for the black shirts. Savvy Davison. Cheng to Galdones. The connection is there.
Cheng is just really utilizing the middle blockers of the Angels in the hopes of delaying the middle blocker. And ang gusto talaga mangyari ng Petro Gazz is to free up si Jonas Abete for the kill. Now they're just 3 points away from winning this set.
And now we also see Royce Tobino checking in again here for PLDT. Legacion to Royce Tobino with a drop. Good coverage by Petro Gazz. Chance here for the Angels, and they go to Jonas Abete. Nandun si Kath Arado. Tobino again challenging the blocker. Cheng to Casey Galdones. Popped up by Arado. And Savvy, unfortunate attack error. You can see the frustration in her face. That is going to be a point for the Petro Gazz Angels. That goes straight to the net for Davison. A crucial 1-2 for her. Right now, PLDT will call for time.
Lagay mo sa gitna sa likod ng block mo ilagay kasi si Arado nag-aabang.
Tawag mo lang agad kay Ange kung idudulo ba o sa pilit lang. Check pa rin naman yung magiging blocker. Pumeso ka lang talaga nung hindi kayo nagkakasundo nung kundulo sa loob. Yung gano'n pa rin. Abangan na yung drop eh.
Pagbalikan tayo.
Sa balikan talaga.
Sige tayo, sige tayo. Relax lang, relax lang. Wala akong gamit.
Pasa ulit. Go, 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 go.
Dahan-dahan lang tayo.
Ito lang yan.
Galiti. Okay tayo.
So remember our poll that we had at the start of our pregame. Who among these volleyballs is the best libero in today's game? Ang choices natin, Bilog Barbon and Kath Arado, of course, for both squads. And we were just talking about them ni Neil. Let's take a look at the results. Kath Arado, 84%.
Of the votes.
And Bilog Barbon at 5%. But you know, we gotta commend, regardless of the results, we gotta commend both these liberos. 20 excellent digs for Kath, 10 excellent digs for Bilog Barbon. Siyempre, alam naman natin si Kath Arado is a reigning best libero in our All-Filipino conference, a decorated libero. But si Bilog Barbon, she's also getting there. You know, we see that effort in her. And Neil was also all praises for her.
She's
a
also
while ago.
new lang dito
That's
sa
right.
Petro Gazz, just easing in the system
Correct.
of Coach Timmy Santo Tomas. PLDT will save one set point of that Ica Reyes hit.
Score now, it's 24-21 in favor of the Petro Gazz Angels. Very crucial moments here in our third set. Both teams with 1 set apiece. Legacion serving. That's a good one. Cheng to Casey Galdones, and she has been on fire here in our third set. And she ends it with a beautiful attack and a great set from Janelle Cheng. Petro Gazz now in the lead in our ball game, 2 sets to 1. As we head on over to our fourth set, Petro Gazz 25-21 in the third. Streaming experiences also await by the Pilipinas Live app, available for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos. Take a look at set number 3, 25-21 in favor of the Petro Gazz Angels. And among all the sets that we've had here in this match, Neil, that was the closest one and arguably the best one for both our teams.
And this is the same situation for PLDT. I understand the feeling of Kat Arado na nanghihinayan siya because they've had so many games na sobrang malapit na nila manalo and they would end up losing. And right now, they do not want to experience the same heartbreak in their last game of the season. That 5-1 run of Petro Gazz was really the main difference maker in set number 3. You can even see the statistics. PLDT had more attack points compared to the Petro Gazz Angels, but the high-speed hitters just gave out a lot of unforced errors. 9 points, 5 points more compared to the 4 of the Petro Gazz Angels. And we saw a service error a while ago from Mitch Morente. We were expecting a good serve kasi that was the reason why she was put in the ball game. And now, pressure will really be on the PLDT side. If kanina, when we started, we said that wala na tong pressure, now there is pressure.
Think again.
Because they do want to gain one more win before the end of the preliminaries.
So there you have it. The Petro Gazz Angels, they take set number 3 from the PLDT High Speed Hitters. It was a very good set for both our squads. Nakulangan lang ng firepower sa dulo itong PLDT High Speed Hitters. But knowing Savannah Davison and the rest of the crew, they are looking to redeem themselves here in our fourth set. Casey Galdones, also one of the fire starters here for the Petro Gazz Angels. Amazing, showing for her 8 points in total for our match today. What about Legacion? Taking the place of the veteran Rhea Democolangan. What do you say about her performance today, Neil?
Well, itong si Legacion, she's not a newbie when it comes to the commercial scene. She medyo matagal siya nawala, but I was so happy when I heard that she was back in form, playing this time with the high-speed hitters. Also has championship experience up her sleeve. And there are some players on the floor naging teammates na din before, so hindi naman naging mahirap yung pagbabalik niya sa volleyball.
Was there, chemistry wasn't so hard to find as well, as Petro Gazz gets us started here. That's a good dig from Cheng. Here comes Mika Reyes. First point for PLDT, and that is point number 4 for Mika.
They haven't had a lot of opportunities to score, talking about Mika Reyes, kasi nakakatabi niya rin talaga yung mga outside hitters. And if you're with Savannah Davison, even if you can score, there's a higher probability na ibabato
Right.
sa left pin.
And the ball will land with Savannah Davison. Well, Savvy right now with the 18 big points in our match today. And she needs to go all out if they want a fighting chance here. Their team is down 2-1 in favor of the Petro Gazz Angels. Reyes to serve. Cheng. Great blocking by PLDT. See her Vash on the other side. Again, the blocking here for PLDT showing up here in the fourth.
Big block from Del Palomata. When you get kill blocks like these, of course, it will put a seed of doubt din dun sa mga attackers ng Petro Gazz Angels. That's what they want, and they do want to force a fifth and deciding set.
PLDT, they want that confidence at the net, just like that.
That is back-to-back blocks for the high-speed hitters.
So it's a
3-point blitz here.
very, very good start for them. We have Davison, 19 points, Sabete with 15 points, the leading scorers for both our teams. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, put things into perspective in that third set. In deadlocks, we had 16 in the third and 4 lead changes. So it was absolutely neck to neck. So we will see if that will be replicated here in our fourth set. Barbon tries to save it. And Jules Samonte gets a point of her own.
That is point number 8 for Jules Samonte. She's been trying to go for her power hits, but the power tip works. Getting the delay on Marian Buitre. Nicole Tiamzon will try to hit it off the hands of Legacion, but she gets rejected. Another kill block for the high-speed hitters. They now establish a 4-point lead against the Petro Gazz Angels. It's all about the strong start for PLDT. This is what happened in set number 2, where they bounced back after a disappointing first set, and now they're displaying their defense against the attackers of the Angels. Oh, Davison with a very early Christmas gift.
As we check in with Sam Corrales for her fourth set report. Go ahead, Sam.
I got to pick the brains of veteran Aiza Maiza Pontillas of the Petro Gazz Angels as she was sitting at courtside watching her teammates from the sidelines. And she told me that it really is going to be a close game right now. Palitan lang ng points. So kailangan daw nila hindi lang magtinginan. They have to communicate more and be more steady. Now, she was also giving some pointers to other teammates like Rania Musa. And it just goes to show how much of a veteran and leader she is, even off the court. Now, on another note, I saw Jonah Sabeta really going all out in this game, and at courtside, I saw members of the team release her calf and actually tape it, but it looks like it is nothing serious as she is still on the court. That's all for now. Catch more on the Filipinas Live app for 149 pesos a month, available for Filipinos everywhere in the world. Back to you, Billy and Neil.
Thank you so much for that, Sam. I'm glad she is okay and well as we get back to this ball game. Getting a little bit intense here in the Phil Sports Arena. Savvy Davison.
That is
scored.
point number 21.
Number 21 for Davison. You know, we expected nothing less from Savannah. Here comes Jonas Sabete. X marks the spot for Sabete.
Sometimes Jonah might drop to 50%. We were talking about percentages, but pag kailangan, she can really turn up the volume. That was against the Catarado.
It is a 4-point advantage now for the High Speed Hitters to start off our fourth set. Attack points for PLDT. We got Del Palomata. 7 points after staying silent in that first and second set.
Better connection also from Legacion and Palomata. First few sets, medyo
Medyo
nagkakapaan
shaky,
pa eh. They're trying to get the height perfect for the tall Del Palomata. But now, they're just humming. And they have a 5-point lead against the Petro Gazz Angels.
As Legacion will find Reyes, and she's been activating the middles here. One-hand save. Legacion will try. Popped up by Z. Good coverage. Another rally that we have here, this time in the fourth. And Tobino with the right intention, but it sails outside.
Wanted to save the point by pushing that ball against the hands of the blockers of the Petro Gazz Angels, but it was just too high. Jonas Abete just contorting her body to get the ball over. They're still trailing by 4 points here in the fourth set.
And Royce Tobino, the veteran that she is, when they need it the most, they gotta hold on to that lead if they want to extend this to a fifth set.
Not a lot of minutes for Royce Tobino in this specific game, but in the previous game, she was actually the starter for the High Speed Hitters.
Here comes Jonah Sabete. That is outside for Sabete.
Too much angle this time for Jonah.
On the scoreboard, 11-5 in favor of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. It has been a back and forth affair in terms of our set scoring, Neil. So we will see if this will be a 5-setter to end our elimination round.
Nandito ka, Billy, eh, so hindi na ako magugulat pag magpa-5
Uy,
sets tayo.
nakaka-3 sets naman ako minsan. Sabete continues the charge here for Petro Gazz. That is her 17th point of the game.
Keeping it close to the numbers on Savvy Davison, just a 4-point difference between their attack points.
And they are two of the top scorers in our match right now. 21 for Davison, 17 for Sabete, and at 12 points, it is Marian Buitre. Those are the top 3 that we have in today's game. Royce Tobino wants to join the party, though. Cross-court attack from the veteran.
Right in the middle of the defense of the Petro Gazz Angels. Sa PLDT, they work well pag mataas-taas yung lamang nila sa points. Now they have a 6-point lead.
A comfortable lead for PLDT. But we know what Petro Gazz can do. We know what they're capable of. Back set to Jules Samonte. Good defense by Barbon. Chami blocked. She'll try again. And she gets the point.
Wrong read from Kat Arado. It's not always that you see Kat Arado make a wrong decision on reading the offense of their opponent. Casey Galdones will serve, target Royce Tobino. Davison will go for a soft touch. Cheng will choose Hervasio from the right.
They're going to try to chase it. Successful. But that will be a point for the Petro Gazz Angels. I mean, commend the hustle here of Royce Tobino trying to chase for that ball.
Slowly but surely, Petro Gazz fighting back here in the fourth. We have to remember that Jonah Sabete has had a lot of problems when it comes to cramps pagdating sa mga long games. So it's very important for them to finish in 4 if they do want to avoid these kinds of situations. With that attack error of Hervasio will give the point to the High Speed Hitters as we enter our technical timeout with PLDT on top.
Experience a new way to feel the heart of volleyball. Watch every set, spike, dig, and block live in HD and on demand anytime, anywhere, and on any device via Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now. There you have it, our premier matchup that we had at the start of this game. We have Savvy Davison, 18 attacks, 3 blocks. Meanwhile, Jonah Sabete, 17 attacks for her. And indeed, they are giving us a show here at the Phil Sports Arena. Davison, 21 points. Sabete with 17 points of her own. So that is all attacks for Jonah Sabete. And as expected, in the absence of Aiza Maiza Pontillas and Gretchen Soltones, itong si Jonah ang nagbubuhat dito sa Petro Gazz Angels. Ample support naman from Marian Buitre with 12 points as we get back to this game. PLDT looking to extend this game, but Petro Gazz fighting with everything they have.
Others really have to support the production of Jonah Sabete. Marian Buitre can come up with a couple of kill blocks. Nicole Tiamzon can take care of their offense.
See Hervasio with 7 points. Oh, wala pang whistle for Z. And she is going to repeat that serve again. Hervasio for the second time. Good serve for Z. Lagacion finds Jules Samonte. Chamzon. And Chami also having a great game today, Neil. Providing, the scoring as well for Petro Gazz.
This was a 6-point lead earlier for the high-speed hitters. But Petro Gazz is just chewing on that lead, now down by just 3 points.
That's right, they're chipping away in the lead of PLDT. Take a look at our attack points, 7 for PLDT. Petro Gazz not far away with 6. Here comes Davison. Chami. Second straight point for Nicole Chamzon, and she has 9 today, and she also had 9 points in their previous match.
I want to point out the soft block from Marian Buitre. She was already late, pero humabol pa din siya. That is the commitment you want for a middle blocker because you'll never know, you might get a good touch, and that is what happened. And Nicole Tiamzon just pounded away.
13-11 is our score. Davison tries and is unsuccessful. Chami. Well, not this time. Davison again. Chami. Blocked. One more time for Chamzon. No go. Savvy with a drop. Sabete from the back. They're going to try to chase it. And it's going to be a chance here for PLDT to come up with something good. Not yet. Buitre with a swipe. Savvy. And that is inside. It makes it in. It wasn't even the strongest of attacks. Just pure placement here for Savvy Davison. And you can see that she is a bit tired. You can see it in her face. Kasi naman she really is running all over the place.
That was a crazy cut shot. Finding the line for the high-speed hitters.
And a sigh of relief for Savannah Davison. They hold on to that 3-point lead in our fourth set. Here comes Samonte. Cheng with a 1-2 play, not this time. Good pickup by Barbon. Chami is blocked. See on the other side. Savvy gets another one.
Point number 23 for Savannah Davison, making use of the remaining time that she has here in the PVL, making sure that she helps her team win this set first. 4-point lead for the PLDT High Speed Hitters.
Samonte on deck to serve for the white shirts. 8 points off 7 attacks and 1 block. So everybody contributing in this game. Just a little too late for Catarado. She was a bit hesitant to get that.
Espina will be replacing Jonas Sabete on the left pin. Looks like they will be conserving some energy dito kay Jonas Sabete pag kailangan na. Fresh legs on the floor for Coach Timmy Santo Tomas.
It is a 3-point ball game in favor of PLDT. Make that a 4-point, 5-point game, 4-point game. Much to the delight of, I'm assuming that is the mother of Savvy Davison. Well, you know what, Neil? That was her point number 24, and we are running out of space in our stat sheet for all the points that she has been racking up here in our ball game. As Cheng will find Buitre for the softest of touches. Here comes Tobino, challenging those blockers. Babalik sa PLDT. Davison out of nowhere. And Chamzon.
Chamzon can also attack from the pipe. Petro Gazz still closing in on PLDT. But Cheng will only have 2 options for attack here in this specific rotation. Casey Galdones from the middle, or Matet Espina from the left side. Let's see if Marian Buitre can contribute a service ace.
And Neil spoke too soon. That will go straight to the net for Marian Buitre. And Coach Timmy not happy about that very crucial error. Dahil nga naghahabol ang Petro Gazz sa ating fourth set. Espina. Cheng. To Galdones. Don't look now, Neil, but the Petro Gazz Angels, they are trying with everything they can.
Galdones is so comfortable in hitting these slide attacks that there is a viable option for Cheng. Now she will have a full front line at her disposal.
13 excellent sets for Janelle Cheng. Royce Tobino. Oh, that's going to be an error. Called on a Petro Gazz Angel net touch violation. So things pretty much going PLDT's way here in our fourth set. As Legacion will serve for the white shirts. It's 18 serving 14. Cheng will find Espina. Legacion to Royce Tobino, who is blocked. Jules Samonte. Lacking coverage there for Petro Gazz.
Jules Samonte just powering through the late block setup by the Petro Gazz Angels. And babalik ulit sa 5 yung lamang ng High Speed Hitters. Let's listen to Coach Timmy in this timeout.
Kasi once na nag-abot kayo, nawawala yung harang nyo ng maayos. Okay? Eh yung palo nila, sinisiksik lang yung bola sa block natin eh. So kung hindi naka-establish yung block natin, lulusot at lulusot lang yan ng hindi natin madedepensahan. Okay? So establish lang. Kung nasaan kayo umabot, block straight. Hayaan nyo magbasa ng depensa yung nasa likod ninyo. Okay? Next, huwag kang manggigit sa block. Ha? Para lang na maayos. Okay? One good pass. 3 spikers tayo sa harapan. Basic lang tayo. Ha? Let's go. Timing nga wala na maayos. Sabay-sabay yung ball.
We have Joem Sabandal here at the Phil Sports Arena. And Adamson Legasyon enjoying the game as well with Jill. With Jill, busy working. At any rate, we got PLDT at 19, Petro Gazz at 14. So this will be very crucial for Petro Gazz. They need something going here, but that will be an attack error called on Z Orvasio. Quickly apologizing to Coach Timmy. That was way too strong for Z, and they put PLDT in the 20s.
PLDT inching closer to that 25-point mark. Balik ulit sa 6 yung lamang nila. Petro Gazz already parang binawasan na nila kanina at 3 points eh. Now it's back at 6.
And it continues right here for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. It's looking to be a very comfortable lead for the white shirts. So I don't know about you, Neil, but we might be heading into a 5th and final set. Why not to close out our preliminary round?
It's still traffic outside, so let's just enjoy.
You know, it's great volleyball too from both these teams. It just goes to show that they do want to win and finish, you know, this conference strong. And Saet gives it to Espina. Way too strong for Matet.
Make that an 8-point lead now for the high-speed hitters. This is the biggest lead that they've had in this entire set.
And they're inching closer to ending this 4th set and forcing us to a 5th and final set. Z challenging the blockers. Arado to Jules. Bump set to Z. That's a little bit too tight. And that is going to be another point for PLDT. There was a collapse here for the Petro Gazz Angels. And, you know, they were doing so well in that 3rd set. They had that momentum coming into the 4th. And what happened, Neil?
Yeah, well, they started to commit these unforced errors. Tas nagsunod-sunod lang din talaga. Plus, PLDT regained control and composure. And yun yung hinahanap talaga ni Coach Stroud. Now, a service ace from Ange Legasyon will send PLDT into their first set point here in the 4th.
That's right, 24-14 on the scoreboard. Thanks to Legasyon and that wonderful service ace. It looks like we will indeed be heading into a 5th and final set, but not yet. That will be a service error for Legasyon. Save 1 set point, talking about Petro Gazz. Casey Galdones. It's been quite a game for her. Matet Espina on deck to serve. Royce Tobino. And she will finish our 4th set, which only means that we will end the preliminary round with a 5-set match. That is the veteran, Royce Tobino, taking matters into her own hands. As we have more volleyball to watch, 25-15 here in our 4th set. We will see you at the 5th. experiences also weighed by the Pilipinas Live app, available for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos. 25 minutes of play during that fourth set. We saw the PLDT High Speed Hitters avenge themselves 25 to 15. And it was a total team effort from everyone on the PLDT side of things. Gil, what can you say about how they played at ano na kulang dito sa Petro Gazz Angels?
Coach Rob just let the veterans play it out in set number 4, even if there was a scare from the side of the Petro Gazz Angels. Hinayaan niya lang talaga na mag-unfold yung mga bagay-bagay. Royce Tubino got a lot of clean touches, and she's been trying to break the wall dun sa depensa ng Petro Gazz Angels. For the Angels naman, they were on their way to closing out that gap eh. But again, they started to make unforced errors. They gave out 8 compared to the 4 of the Petro Gazz Angels. And this was a set that they weren't able to register any block point, no service ace. So it was clearly PLDT on the rise ng set number 4. Now we're here.
We're here. We are here in the 5th and final set. It was a dominating performance for the PLDT High Speed Hitters. And you know, it did not help that sabi nga ni Neil, there was a series of errors during the latter part of that set where when they could have, you know, had a run to close the gap. But more volleyball action for everyone this Tuesday evening, also to close out our preliminary round. Why not? We have the PLDT High Speed Hitters versus the Petro Gazz Angels. Royce Tubino had a great fourth set, and Jules Samonte really providing that support for the veterans of this squad. Samonte now with 9 points. Nicole Shamzon, on the other hand, 11 under her belt.
For the High Speed Hitters, there are 2 players in double digits. It's Savi Davison and Viola Ceballos. For the Petro Gazz Angels, they actually have 4 players in double digits. Buitre, Galdones, Tiamzon, and Sabete.
So what a way, you know, to close out this conference for all the players on the court right now, the rosters of each squads really playing their hearts out. Cheng will go to Galdones, challenging Del Palomata and Jules Samonte. Here comes Savi Davison, popped up by Hervasio. Sabete, picked up by Reyes. They go to Savannah Davison, nandoon si Z. Great hustle that we see to start us off in our 5th set. Hervasio avoiding the blockers. And that will be a point for the Petro Gazz Angels. And that rally was a clear indication, you know, that these 2 teams, they want to win. They want to finish strong. Gusto nila happy yung Pasko nila dito.
Lalo na't 5 sets. So
Ito na talaga, itodo na.
the winner will really feel accomplished, satisfied after a long one.
And you also need that confidence boost. Sam reported a while ago that PLDT really felt that loss, not being able to reach the semifinals. So it has affected, you know, both these squads, and we know that for the past couple of conferences, they have been mainstays in the semis. It's a big change, but they're making up for it here in this game. Davison will try, and Davison will succeed.
Most of the time, she will really try to go to different angles or above the block. But this time around, iniba niya eh, pinatama niya na ngayon sa right hand at si Hervasio.
And, you know, this game also serves as a culmination of all the hard work that these 2 teams have, all the hard work that they have done, all that effort that they have expended in the course of the past couple of weeks. Legacion to Palomata for the quick. Hervasio with a push. Savi. Barbon a little too late on that one as Davison will clock in point number 26.
Right now, it's just really choosing your best attacker on the floor. It's a race to 15. It's going to be a very fast set for our competing teams.
It is 3 serving 1 in our 5th set. Here comes Jules Samonte. Cheng back set to Casey Galdones. And that is going to be way off for Galdones. They were asking for a check, but no challenge, I believe, will be called.
Yeah, Petro Gazz can challenge, but I guess they will save that for
When the time comes, when the
later
right
time.
time comes.
But they're already down by 3 points. This is already a big lead
That's
in
right.
a 5th set.
And they don't want that momentum to completely go the side or go the way of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. As Legacion will go to Savvy Davison, but there is going to be a violation called on PLDT, I believe. As we check in with Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
We're down to the last few moments here in the preliminary round, and it's got to be a 5-setter. These teams just won't back down. So I want to talk about the huddle of Petro Gazz. Coach Timmy reminded his team about defense. Naangat yung bola pero walang nangyayari. So kailangan nilang magtulungan para masila-sila as they end the round. Now for the PLDT High Speed Hitters, I don't know if you guys can hear and see, but the bench, their morale has just been so high over here. The teammates are cheering for those on the floor in this 5th set. Kasi sabi nga ni Catarado kanina, they need to end things well as they look ahead to next season. And that's it for now. Catch more in the Pilipinas Live app for 149 pesos a month. Back to you, Billy and Neil.
That's right. You know, there is so much more to look forward to for both our squads. And for Cath Arado, as Sam mentioned, they just need to finish this one strong as they look ahead sa next conference natin. I believe around February. We shall confirm. But in the meantime, Nicole Chamzon has been so steady, Neil, for the Petro Gazz Angels. Puts them at just 1 point behind PLDT.
Sometimes itong mga 5 sets, dito nagkakaroon ng lapses yung PLDT. In their previous games and previous
It's been a
conferences,
trend.
yeah, it's been a trend. So I'm sure the coaches are just looking forward dun sa girls nila na talagang mailaban hanggang dulo to
Correct.
keep it very consistent until they win. Now they're maintaining that 2-point lead.
And they do have that momentum coming from that 4th set victory. It was 25-15, if you all remember. Right now on the scoreboard, we have 6-4 in favor of the High Speed Hitters. Almost a point for Chamzon. Great coverage from PLDT. That was a slight attack from Marian Buitre. It has been effective. Talking about the slight attacks for Petro Gazz, Galdones and Buitre. Leading scorers now. Davison with 27 points. Sabete with 17. As expected, these two girls really showing up for both their squads. Here comes Royce Tobino. What a good dig from Cheng and from Chamzon. Sabete miscalculates that one.
She lost her footing, wasn't able to go for an approach. It was just a vertical jump coming from Jonas Sabete. Sometimes mas nakakagulo yung vertical jump unless regalo siya. If it's coming from a loose ball, you really need to go for a proper approach to get the timing right.
Back to a 2-point advantage, a 2-point push for the High Speed Hitters. 7-5, Legacion on deck to serve for the white shirts. Cheng to Buitre, and that is a point for Marian Buitre, finding the edge of that line.
It was like a differential play from the right instead of a slide attack. And she wasn't happy with it kasi she mistimed the approach.
That's
but
right.
it was still a point for
Yeah.
Petro Gazz.
A point is still a point, but a service error. It's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. After a good attack, a good sequence, it's up. It's a 2-point lead again for PLDT.
The service error counter should always be 0 pagdating sa 5th set.
That's right. Because it is such a short set as well as Cheng. To Galdones. Savvy Davison. Picked up by Sabete. Babalik kay Sabete. She's blocked!
3-point lead now for the high-speed hitters. Mika Reyes has no entry.
That is point number 5 for Mika Reyes. 9 serving 6. Lead is getting bigger, and that is going to be a great serve for Royce Tobino as they extended to a 4-point lead. Coach Timmy will be forced to call for time.
Bola bumabagsak na naman sa gitna. Hindi natin ina-anticipate eh. Ang ginagawa natin, hinihintay pa rin natin lumapit sa atin yung bola eh. Atakihin niyo yung serve. Lapitan niyo yung bola. Okay? Next. Out of system, malayo yung bola, huwag niyo i-challenge ng down. Kasi naka-establish yung block dun eh. Diba sabi sa inyo, pagpapalo ng out of system, padulasin niyo lang ng cross na mahaba. Okay? Okay. One good receive tayo, one good receive. Tama yung play mo, walang problema, running open, ha? Okay, so, kailangan lang natin ang pasahan ng isang maganda, okay? So,
Kahit ikaw na receive, tuloy ka. Okay. Let's go, ate! Let's go!
Simple instructions by Coach Timmy Santo Tomas. One good receive is all that it takes. But first, what about this service ace from the veteran Royce Tobino?
Communication should take place, especially pagdating sa reception. Now, Jonas Abete got a bigger zone.
Here comes Davison. And PLDT really trying to stretch this lead here in our 5th set.
On their way to getting their 7th win here in the All-Filipino Conference.
If Petro Gazz doesn't step on the gas here in our 5th. It's a 5-point advantage now for PLDT. Galdones makes it a 4-point game.
Petro Gazz still alive. Zihir Vasho will be in the front row to support Jonas Abete and Casey Galdones. Cheng can play it simple, but pwede din niyang paikutin yung mga tao.
What about Jules Samonte though? I mean, everybody here in PLDT just having that sense of urgency to finish this one strong. Everybody contributing, whether it be on offense or defense, Neil.
Get the silent operator, Jules Samonte, getting a clean point here in this 5th set.
It is her 11th point. And what about that for Mika Reyes? And it looks like they might, or they are poised to win this game. Sabi mo nga, Neil, it is game number 7, if ever, for PLDT.
There have been multiple miscues on the side of Petro Gazz.
But if they want a fighting chance, they gotta wake up now. Davison. And that is match point for the High Speed Hitters. And you know that they can feel it. They know it. They know that this game is theirs.
These are the moments that you will really miss. Aiza Maizo Pontillas and Rachel Soltones, because of both of them have high percentage attacking, lalo na sa mga dikitan na sitwasyon.
Correct. And that stability that they offer as well. But Legasyon, Davison for the game, not yet. Cheng to Sabete. And that is outside
for Jonas Abete. Too much angle, and PLDT will end their campaign here in the All-Filipino Conference on a high note by getting a much-deserved 5-setter win against the Petro Gazz Angels.
And remember, again, I'm going to repeat that report by Sam that they were really affected by not making it to the semifinals. But you know what? There's only so much that you can do, and with what they had today, with all that hard work that they showed us in this game, they deserve this win for the Petro Gazz Angels. They have another conference to look forward to for both these teams. And at the end of the day, you know, it's all about working as a team, that collective effort. We saw that in both these squads.
And for Petro Gazz, nothing to be ashamed of as well. Remy Palma didn't see action also today, so Coach Timmy Santo Tomas just really gave the opportunity for the young ones to step up.
That's right, and you know you can relive this game and all PVL games anytime, anywhere on the Pilipinas Live app, available for Filipinos everywhere. Download and subscribe now for as low as 149 pesos, and that is it for our match. The PLDT High Speed Hitters, they come out victorious in our game. We got Sammy Davison, the player of the game. Take a look at that stat line. 29 points off 26 attacks and 3 blocks and 10 excellent digs.
After the slow set number 1, Savannah Davison stepped on the gas for the high-speed hitters, and that might have been her best performance to date here in the PVL. And we wish her the best of luck sa future endeavors niya, but we're really hoping that she comes back for more PVL action.
Of course, we are hoping and praying that she comes back, and she brought so much fire to the PVL second All-Filipino Conference. As we take a look at the final standings as we end our preliminary round.
PLDT will settle for 5th place. They were just 1 game away from tying things with Signal and Cherry Tigo. Petro Gazz will settle for 7th. But again, our final forecast is complete. Creamline will be going up against the Cherry Tigo crossovers, and Choco Mucho will take on the Signal HD Spikers in the semifinals of our All-Filipino Conference.
Speaking of the semifinals, this is our schedule for Thursday, December 7, right here at the Phil Sports Arena at 4 p.m. We got the Cherry Tigo crossovers versus the Creamline Cool Smashers. That is going to be a good one, to be followed by the Signal HD Spikers in the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. A lot of people anticipating the return of the Flying Titans here in our semi-finals. And that is it for us today. On behalf of my partner, Neil Flores, Sam Corrales, Rec Marvin Chavez, and all the amazing people behind this production, my name is Billy Capistrano, saying thank you so much for joining us here in the PVL, the heart of volleyball. Have a great night, everyone, and we will see you on Thursday.
Thank you.